Hey everyone, welcome back to Great Northwest Weaponry. This is Thomas, and today we are doing the 2022 year-end wrap-up, 2023 channel update, our annual look at the past year and what to expect going into the next year. If you're wondering what's with the getup, it is 5 in the morning and I just got back from a all-night New Year's party that happened to be Western themed. So we had a really good year this year for the channel. Again, nothing huge. This is still very much a small gun channel. This is just my passion project, and that is what it started as, and it is what I can intend for it to continue to be. Sorry if I stutter a little bit. I'm quite tired, and my voice probably sounds a bit huskier than usual. Again, I've been up all night long. But this year we did really good in the subscriber count department compared to previous years. So in our first year, we hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, that being the 2020 to 21. And then 21 to 22, we hit 1,500. We ended 22 going into 23 with 3,115. So we got more subs in the past year than we did in the first two combined. I would definitely consider that to be a success. And we really crushed it in views. I think shorts really helped in this department. So our lifetime viewership on the channel has been just shy of 530,000, 305,000 of that being this year. So over 500,000 views. That is mind-boggling to me. I've got notes in front of me because all this analytical stuff, I can't keep this all in my head, especially not right now. But again, just a lot more than I ever expected. A lot more attention shown to my little project here than I figured would ever really happen. Speaking of shorts, all three of our most viewed videos happen to be shorts for this past year, respectively most viewed being the K31 First Shots short at 12.9 thousand, the Walther P38 at 10.6 thousand, and the Steyr Hahn, these last two, by the way, being first-person shooting shorts. So P38 first-person shooting, Steyr Hahn first-person shooting, 10.5 thousand. And that Steyr Hahn demo is also, or not demo, but first-person shooting short is our most liked video of all time at 10.5 thousand. Going into 23, what to expect. Demos are probably going to be a little lighter this year overall. I only personally own two guns, at least in my old gun collection, that we have yet to take a look at. Those being my 1911 that I just got a month ago, and a gun that I've been sitting on for a while, the Chinese Mauser Type 88. Air quotes, because the Gewehr 88 wasn't even really a Mauser, and the Type 88 is a Chinese copy of that. But anyway, those are the only two guns that I have not personally demoed that I own. So I'll probably get a couple more over the course of the year, but it could be a little while. In Oregon, we are kind of waiting with bated breath to figure out what is going to go on with the ridiculous infringement of a measure that is 114. It's going to make getting guns in the state of Oregon really difficult, at least until things get figured out. And at the moment, if I were to attempt to purchase a firearm, I would be put on a waiting list that at my last check exceeded 50,000. So yeah, it's not awesome. I really hate Oregon politics. But anyway, we do have access to a bunch more guns. We might be getting something cool worked out with the Warfront. We'll get to use some of their guns possibly for videos going forward for demos. So I'd probably do that as its own series. We wouldn't actually be shooting these demos in the gun room here, maybe potentially in their museum. But it would be the same format, more or less, where we shoot the gun and then talk the history of the gun, again, probably in their museum, and then do a tabletop segment where I'd look at markings and any disassembly that can be easily done, and then end with how to operate. Just as we've done, it would just be in a different location for those videos. Also, going into 2023, hopefully, we will be having Dylan, my friend, who you've seen in a couple of shorts, do demos of some of his guns. He picked up a number of guns last year, all of which will make for some pretty cool demos. He got really into the Spanish stuff real quick, so we got an Astra 400, Astra 600, and a Spanish Mauser model of 1893, as well as a last-ditch Arisaka and a Sauer & Son 38H. So all of those could potentially get demos over the course of the year. And because of this stupid ballot measure 114, a lot of my friends kind of panic purchased guns, many of which they have said they'd be okay with me doing demos of. A lot of these being modern guns. So anytime I do a demo of a gun that is not mine, I will be clearly stating in the video that it does not belong to me. I've, I think so far been 100% accurate about whether or not I described a gun as belonging to me or not in all of my videos. But yeah, just expect that going forward. If I do a demo of a gun that does not belong to me personally, I will be stating so in the video. I am planning to, over the course of the year, maintain the one full-length video every 7 to 10 days. In between full-length videos, we'll do 1 or 2 shorts, maybe even 3, depending on the amount of them that I have shot at that moment in time. We're going to stick with, I think, the... we've got like 4 different formats that we've tried so far. Actually, I think 5, but one of them I kind of did away with because it wasn't pulling views by comparison to the others. I tried doing slow-mos. I don't really have a good setup for slow-mos. Maybe I'll experiment with that someday down the road when we get a better camera for it. But the kind of over-the-shoulder shooting with rifles, first-person shooting with pistols, first shots demos of anything that we haven't already, or first shots shorts of anything that we haven't done a demo of, as well as the more recent edition of brief tabletop segments where we talk about some, maybe, just a brief, interesting historical fact about any gun or set of guns. Actually, the last thing that we posted in 2022 was one of those on Arisaka dust covers. So some of these, a lot of that style of short, if you are new to the channel and got here from the shorts, a lot of that information is covered in full-length demos. If you prefer watching the full-length demos, you're not missing a lot of that information that I'm putting in the shorts. But sometimes there's some maybe just a little tidbit of info or just something that I found interesting that never made it into a demo. We talked about, again, just going back to the most recent one, Arisaka dust covers in any video we've done on Arisakas in the past. But, might also do ones where we're just looking at some minor differences between a couple of designs from John Moses Browning or something to that nature. So a lot of this stuff gets brought up more than once in more than one type of video, but you guys all, you're not all going to have the same tastes. So I'm sure that some of you will, like the full-length demos where I get really into the history of a gun. Some of you might want it in more little, minute-long bite-sized pieces. So those are for you. Or if you just like watching all of the content, more power to you. Thank you. That really about covers it. Like I say, the amount of content is not going to slow down. Even though we might have a little less demos this year, I do not plan on slowing the output of videos. We'll probably do more versus videos over the course of this year as I have accumulated more guns that I've demoed, I've got more viable versus videos that I can do. I try to not do too much on one gun, back to back, because I know that can wear a little thin. Like if I follow a channel and they start posting, nothing but Enfield videos over and over and over again, it starts getting like, okay, you're kind of beating a dead horse. I'd like to see something else. So I try to space them out a bit. Like, for instance, in the winter, I tend to bring out the Mosins, but I still try to, have a couple of videos in between the showing off of the Mosins. Also, the part 2 demos that we've been doing, those have been, having a moderate amount of success. Got a number of new subscribers from those and a number of people checking out the original demos because of them. So I'm going to keep doing that going forward. I'm going to stick to the method of only doing part 2 demos for guns that it has been over a year since I did the original demo. And I'm kind of trying to focus on the older ones first, at least if I still have it or have access to it, because some of them we've done demos of friends' guns before. Some of those friends don't have the gun that I did the demo of anymore. And there's been a couple that have come and gone from my collection, though generally speaking, when I buy a gun, it stays. there have been a few exceptions. For instance, I still have the Mauser Model 1914, but I no longer have the 34. I traded it for a P38 that I sold to fund my Steyr Hahn, for instance, and I don't regret it. But you know, if I ever got my hands on a different model of the 1934, if I had an opportunity to pick one up, I'd probably do it. If we do get any new guns, me personally, in 2023, they will probably be antiques, as those skirt past Measure 114 without being a problem. And without me having to jump through all the hoops that the Measure entails. It's a mess. I don't want to get way into it, but you can find information on it pretty easily on what it is supposed to do. But it is going to make getting guns in the state of Oregon a lot more difficult if it goes through. Right now, it's being held up in court. Power to every organization that is challenging it right now. I hope it just gets thrown out. It's a bad bill. I try not to get political on this channel. That is not my specialty. It is not something I really enjoy talking about, but Measure 114 does affect me very directly. There are a lot of antiques that I do want to own, though. So, like, I would love to get a Reichs revolver. I'd love to get a Gewehr 71 to go with my 7184. I would love to get a Springfield trapdoor or a Lebel 1886. A lot of these can be obtained and just have them shipped straight to my house because they're antiques. So we'll see what happens going forward. But as of right now, we've got no plans to slow down with content at all. If anything, there's going to be more content over this next year than there has been at any points before the last 6 months. We just started doing shorts 6 months ago, and it has been wildly successful for me, at least by comparison. And they're really easy for me to do. I can do shorts very quickly and easily. Again, especially the tabletop ones, I could take any given demo that I've done in the past and break it up into 16 different shorts that just covered certain aspects of whatever given gun, as well as relations between guns, a brief look at a collection of guns, whatever it may be. And you guys seem to like that type of content. YouTube is definitely pushing shorts in their algorithm. So my plan, again, full-length video every 7 to 10 days. 1 to 3 shorts in between. And that should about wrap it up. Hope you all had a happy new year, and looking forward to see how things go in 2023. Let's see if we can hit 5,000 subs by the end of the year. Thanks for watching Great Northwest Weaponry. It's been Thomas, and I'll see you next time.